Together 4 quarters of high-stakes lacrosse, and the face-off spot is going to be so crucial where Jacksonville struggled this season.
Hunter Turner going against Jared Hirschman, and we are underway under the lights of DB Milne Field. Jacksonville just 28% face-off percentage on the season. And just like that, Marquette takes the opening face-off. And with all the time to work, you know they're going to drain that 80-second shot clock as much as they can tonight.
We'll keep an eye on that. And one of the keys that John Galloway mentioned for Jacksonville is to not give up transition goals. They've struggled, even right off of the face-off, with that quick win in offense. So even though Jacksonville didn't win the face-off, they are able to play 6-on-6 and see what they can do.
Andrew Romagoli, Central New York native, passes it off. Marquette just 1-0 on the season, looking to pick up the road win. Andrew Young, the freshman defender for Jacksonville, nearly forces the turnover. On the end line, ball still loose. No clear winner still.
Somebody stepped on the line. Marquette's going to keep the ball. The shot clock's at 28. Did not reset.
And counting is John Wagner, the captain, working his way around. Fires a quick shot.
They did get the reset. So we're 72 on the shot clock. Protecting that top side is going to be key for that close defense right there. And you saw Dixon Smith force that errant shot.
Freshman Holden Patterson gives it up to Anthony Orsini. Again, Marquette very content taking this clock all the way down. 5 times last year where neither team reached 10 goals. This is the style they want to play, and Jacksonville's going to want to speed them up if they want to win.
And Marquette is just so adept at playing in traffic. You think a guy's not open, next thing you know, they're sniping a ball right to him, and that's that style where Jacksonville's going to have to keep their head moving and not give any space.
Dixon Smith, the top defender on John Wagner, working around, another quick shot.
So you saw number 3, Jordan Young, get hung up behind the cage. We saw that last week, that pivot behind the cage. He's got to keep those feet moving and not get tangled up on the cage. There it goes.
Young defending Thompson, who slips, and he's going to draw a penalty.
Can't give up on that play. It's still a live ball.
25 seconds on the shot clock.
There we go. Okay, so last week, Sean, we saw the freshman Jordan Young get caught behind the goal right at the X, and it happened twice right there and almost cost him. And the penalty is going to give Marquette an early offensive chance.
Golden Eagles 1 of 2 on the man up in the season opening. 15-9 win over Bellarmine at home.
There you can see him trip over the cage. All it takes is a half a step. He recovered very nicely, but a little bit out of position causes him to lunge. Interesting to see Tanner Thompson kind of give up on that play, and it's not a dead ball until the other team gains possession.
So man-up advantage for Marquette just 2 minutes into the game. Jacksonville's been on defense the entire time, so a minute penalty on Andrew Young, the freshman.
There's a step
Up
down
for
shot.
Thompson, lets it rip, but it's way too high.
A little too much time and room there, just off the mark.
Thompson again at the point. Another quick shot, and it's in the back of the net for the freshman Holden Patterson. Taking advantage of the Andrew Young penalty, and Marquette quickly grabs the 1-goal lead.
Just finding a little crease right in front of the goal. Good turn, pivot, and shot from 10 yards out. That was a snipe.
You said it too, Ray, that they can lull you to sleep, but also they'll be ready to let it rip on a moment's notice.
Playing man down in Division I lacrosse is so difficult, and this is just a nice little no-look turn and just blasts it high to high. 10 yards is one of those distances where it's really tough for the goalie, and when you turn and shoot like that, it's a little difficult for Hunter Sells to pick up that ball.
Coach Joe Amplo content, I guess you could say, after his team grabs the lead, and meanwhile for Jacksonville, looking to pick up a big face-off win as Hunter Turner is hit, and Eric Applegate sends Hirschman, the Fogo for Marquette, to the ground.
That was a good face-off draw for Jacksonville. Unfortunately, it hit the ref, but that was a tough break for Jacksonville because you win the draw clean, you expect your Fogo to pick it up and get right to the offense, and it banks right off the referee. Looks like Jacksonville's going to have possession here, so that's a break. That's going to be Evan Tyler taking the ball in.
The captain who had a hat trick in the first half against Duke last Saturday. So Ball flying around everywhere. Ray, it looks like finally Jeremy Winston is going to settle things down for Jacksonville in its first chance on the attack.
Yeah, this first midfield line, we got to expect Jacksonville wants to create some offense. You're not going to see a lot of slides from the Marquette defense up to the midfield line. Got to protect your stick a little bit.
Jack Dolan gets it taken away.
Can't give up the transition goal here. Look at Jeremy Winston rush back, number 14 for Jacksonville, and a good ride for JU.
They're forcing the turnover, escorting Anthony Corsell out of bounds. Couldn't draw the foul or anything right there. So that's, like you said, good job getting back and not hanging your head after the turnover.
Yep, you get that turnover, you get back. Don't give up the fast break. That's been the message all week.
Meanwhile, Coach John Galloway wants to see his team take advantage in transition. 0 for 6 against Duke last week. See, almost a careless turnover.
You've got 8 seconds to get it over the midfield line. Down to 5 seconds.
You have to give it up. It just does at the 60-second mark of the shot clock. One of those new rule changes almost costing Jacksonville after a bad pass.
That was great hustle by the close defense. I believe that was Dixon Smith who ran that thing down, got his head pointed upfield, and Jacksonville got it over the midfield line. Confidence booster.
There's Evan Tyler with the ball. Mentioned his hat trick against Duke. But a Jacksonville offense that only scored 2 goals in the second half. His low shot save made by John Holzman. Might have had a little help from the post. Still a 1-0 lead for Marquette.
Here's that transition.
Noah Richard, one of the best long stick middies in the country. He was a unanimous selection for the preseason Big East team.
We mentioned how active John Holzman was. He went down. He's not one of those stand and react. He's going to guess a little bit, flop a little bit, and that was just a really nice save. Look at Evan Tyler.
Unable to out of bounds. And again, Jacksonville, too much of a hurry right now in these opening minutes.
Both teams have had their opportunities. Look at this save. Low and away. Just great reaction by Holzman.
So after the Jacksonville turnover, trying to move the ball up and take advantage of the transition game. Gives Marquette another chance to settle things down. Last time, drew a penalty and got a man-up goal.
So Jacksonville caught a little bit of the trouble substituting. See if they can recover, and they do.
There's Hayden Levangie, 50 in white.
Levangie, a local product from Fleming Island High School, very active, very aggressive. Coach Galloway called him one of the toughest players he's coached here at Jacksonville in his duration.
Bob Pelton, the 6-foot senior, going right at Levangie, letting it fly, and he beats Sells. It's quickly 2-0 Marquette.
Great speed on that dodge, just got a step on Levangie. Levangie closed the gap, gave him a little shove. I believe that Coach Galloway and even probably Hunter Sells feels like that was a savable shot.
Bob Pelton only had 4 career points going into his senior season. Now has a goal and an assist after beating Levangie. And another one of those shots, like you mentioned, on the man up. Just that 10-yard range, a little dangerous if you're Jacksonville to be letting up some of these Marquette shooters.
Yeah, that's one that the defense feels like they can give that one up and you would expect to save there, but it's a little ball and a big goal. And there's Dixon Smith with a nice ground ball from the wing.
Big face-off win for Jacksonville, looking to get some subs on and work back into this game. Jack Pucci, the freshman. Coach Galloway was talking to us and saying that he expects Pucci to be a big part, but just a freshman. Has had some struggles on the attack in his first 2 career games. What do you want to see out of Pucci and the fabulous Bo Hunter everybody's so high about in this program?
Pucci as a freshman is immensely talented. The confidence, feeling comfortable in the game, and these players, these young players learning their role. So you've got 2 freshmen at attack. Can't hang your stick like that. Just too big of a windup.
Alec Drosos is being pestered and try to do it himself, and Marquette gets the ball back in just a matter of moments after taking a 2-0 lead on the road. Golden Eagles last year 6-8. Had some troubles trying to take a bigger lead here, and just like that, Marquette has blown it open, not even midway through the first quarter. Peter Hankhouse with his 3rd goal this year sends Jacksonville into a timeout.
That was a speed dodge. That was clearly speed from Hankhouse, and it was a beautiful goal.
Timeout on the field. Jacksonville looking to turn things around when we...
Wow. What a nice place. All right, Grandma. What are you doing here?
Eat.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Make it what you want. Anybody here?
My mission is to take down Umbrella's operation. They're secretly making bioweapons.
Count me in.
Available now. Rated mature.
Discover card.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep.
We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year.
Automatically.
Whoa, I got my money!
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go! Woo.
Get a $1 for $1 match at the end of your first year. Only from
Marquette has come out on a tear in the first quarter, but going into the timeout, Ray, you were just saying Marquette is capitalizing on its chances, yes, but Hunter Sell should be making these saves.
It's hard to say. That one might have been deflected right there, but that's a speed dodge. That's an off-balance shot. Hunter Sells looked like he saw the ball. I think he's going to want that one back. And when you have a head coach who's, I think, the greatest goalie in the world right now, gold medal winner, I think he's going to expect Hunter to make those saves. You want your goalie to be a game changer, and those are the types of shots that you would hope that your goalie would make.
Coach Joe Amplo, the Team USA assistant who has a very close relationship with John Galloway, is not afraid to admit it, and the way those two worked together in Israel on that 7-0 run to the gold medal and that thrilling one-goal win over Team Canada. Well, now, if you're John Galloway, do you just scrap the game plan altogether? How do you turn things around?
No, that's the key right here is to get possession. That's another face-off win for Jacksonville, so that's a positive you can take out of this game because they have struggled mightily in their two games. They need a little more poise. We've seen them throw the ball away. Just stick to the plan. Jacksonville has come from behind many times throughout the Galloway tenure here at Jacksonville, and this is just a 3-goal lead with a lot of time left even here in the first quarter.
Starting 5 freshmen, too, and having a bevy of underclassmen. Bit of the challenge going into this season, but there's Evan Tyler, the captain, putting it in the back of the net, and a huge response for Jacksonville out of the timeout.
Great poise, great positioning, and great execution by Evan Tyler. He was very patient on that play.
And Tyler, who only had 5 goals last year in 11 games as a sophomore, now has 5 goals in just over 2 games as a captain in his junior season. What's been his biggest turnaround on the field?
Well, coach credited assistant coach, former JU Dolphin McLean Chiquin, with helping Evan Tyler. And you see right there a brilliant dodge to beat his man, shake his man. He didn't have a great angle there, and you could tell that thought process, not a great angle, but I have time and room. I'm just going to hammer it home, and Evan Tyler did. Big face-off win there and a big goal for Jacksonville.
How about that? Another big-time face-off win by Hunter Turner. And he draws the flag as well as Jacksonville starting to win some of these face-offs after a disastrous start in the first 2 games of the season, going 13-46.
And a free possession. Unfortunately, they gave it away, but here comes an extra man opportunity. We'll see if it's a personal or technical. .55 with a push, so it'll be a 30-second penalty.
So Noah Richard, the long stick midi, off the field for this man-up opportunity for Jacksonville. So that's a big loss, at least for 30 seconds for Jacksonville, trying to take advantage and have another goal.
You know, those short 30-second technical fouls are difficult, but it allows your offense to settle up, and you just want to get one good shot. Doesn't necessarily have to be right off the first spin, but you want to get a good look at the cage, and worst-case scenario, you keep the ball out of Marquette's hand.
Eric Applegate working the ball around for Jacksonville as it's trying to get back into this game, but just a quick man-up opportunity. Applegate up top with the penalty time winding down.
It's released, but they're still man up. Okay, so it's a good kill by Marquette.
Jacksonville doesn't even get a shot off. Now midway through the shot clock with 40 seconds.
Pressing way out are the defensive middies. This is where you want to see Jeremy Winston be able to run by and beat his man one-on-one. or Jack Dolan.
Just past the midway point of the first quarter. After going down 3-0, Jacksonville looking for back-to-back goals.
Pucci's got the short stick on him right now. You would consider that a good matchup for the big Pucci.
A 6'5 freshman, not exactly taking advantage right now with 15 on the shot clock. Trying to back his man down. Not a lot of time left on this possession. Applegate. I have to put something up, just too much time. Winston.
Shuffle pass into Dolan, but time expired. Great defense by Marquette, as you would expect.
That's what this team hangs its hat on. Went to the NCAA tournament back in 2016 and 17, winning the Big East tournament. And like you mentioned with Coach Amplo, that came from Hofstra as a player, and another one of those Coach John Danowski descendants. Again, you could see it right there, but when you're a man up, you got to take advantage, right, Ray?
You have to take advantage of it, and coming off of that man up, having that the timer go off on the shot clock was very disappointing.
Marquette trying to take advantage of Jacksonville being a little too passive on that last possession. Also give credit to the great Golden Eagle defense. Anthony Orsini.
Quick double team. Nice recovery by Jacksonville.
John Wagner, who has Dixon Smith on him. The captain who got beat in the last 10 seconds of the game gets beat there, but Wagner doesn't make him pay.
Tried for that one-handed wraparound, and Dixon Smith did a good job of shoving him and getting him off balance.
And Wagner was the one who had the goal with 7 seconds left to lift Marquette to a 1-goal win over Jacksonville in Milwaukee last year in the season opener.
Shorty on shorty behind the goal, Labanji.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Orsini going back at X. Trying to set up something. A cutter and a shot that goes wide, and a shot clock violation. So there you go. Back-to-back shot clock violations for two teams that normally like to slow things down, but here's a chance for Jacksonville to at least get something going in transition.
That's a good confidence builder for that JU defense. They did a nice job of protecting that top side, especially on that invert with the shorty behind the cage. So that's a defensive win for JU in 6-on-6.
Zach Deacon, the freshman, and almost another unforced turnover.
We got a little nervous there. We saw Deacon's sister score some goals for the JU women earlier today.
Had a hat trick in the first half, and a big win for the JU women's team, looking to get back to the NCAA tournament for the third straight season. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, a team that got to the SoCon Conference Final last year and lost in overtime.
So you see Eric Applegate come out of the midfield now, and he's got a short stick on him, number 8 for Jacksonville, Applegate. That's an interesting matchup you'd like to take advantage of. I'm surprised they're not isolating him right now. Marquette hasn't recognized it and switched the pole off to him. But now they're trying to shut off. Applegate's got to find the ball here.
It's with Tyler. It's getting 15 seconds on the shot clock for Jacksonville. Applegate finds Pucci. A low shot. Looks like it was blocked away.
It's going to be a shot clock violation there, despite the deflection.
Oh, Richard quick on,
there's a flag.
On the restart.
Pucci just took a lumberjack swing as the opponent went across the midfield line.
Quick shot. Looked like Sells came up with a save that time on the shot from Anthony Corsell, but another extra man opportunity for Marquette.
You don't want your attackmen creating penalties in the ride. You just don't, because they're going to clear it anyway, and now they're man up. Marquette's man up, just a little over-aggressive play by Pucci, and that was clearly a lumberjack swing right in front of the referee. We saw that a couple times last week against Duke with the Jacksonville attack, Bohunter and others creating penalties in the riding game, and it's just tough to recover.
So 30-second penalty on Jacksonville. John Wagner, the man who has been so clutch in his Marquette uniform, the senior going right to work, looking to build up the Marquette lead again.
Cutting and replacing on the crease. They scored off the crease feed earlier in a man-up opportunity.
Shot by Anthony Orsini.
Once again, inside of 10 yards, those shots are coming.
With just a handful of seconds left. Thompson's open, and he makes them pay again.
That was from another distance where that's the shot you're going to give up. You're going to give up a shot if the other team moves the ball. They have a man advantage, and that's the one you want to give up. You just have to count on your goalie making the save. Now, I'm not saying that Sells should have made that save, but if there's one shot on man up you want to see, that's the one.
4-1 Marquette in the first quarter. And Tanner Thompson, the NLL prospect, and big reason why Marquette fans are so excited for this upcoming season. Sat out last year with a torn ACL, and you combine him with John Wagner, and that makes that first-line attack very dangerous for Big East foes.
We've seen a couple of those distance shots going low past Sells, so I don't know if that's a scouting report or something that both teams need to keep their eye on and talk to Sells about that.
Timely face-off win for Marquette. Luke Anderson passes it off. So just under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And Marquette with a barrage from distance, putting the Jacksonville defense and goalkeeper Hunter Sells under duress.
Jacksonville's got to play with energy, but these penalties, you just can't do that against a team like Marquette. 2 extra man goals already. Good job by Dixon Smith protecting that top side.
Thompson has it again. Nearly beat his man, but rolled back to the middle. There's a short stick. Hayden Levangie on him.
Quick double. Stay on that double team. Good pressure. Under 30 on the clock.
But some room to work with. It gets deflected, and Sells watches it bounce off the crossbar. Much needed bounce to fall in favor of Jacksonville.
Very alert by Hunter Sells to track that ball, and there's an errant pass, a forced pass. That is an unforced error.
Certainly something Jacksonville has to keep track of. The turnover by Zach Deacon, a freshman mistake you might call it.
Yeah, telegraphed that shot, or that pass, and tried to throw it through his stick. Didn't need to do that.
Still a reasonable difference between the shot clock and the game clock. It just reached 60 seconds, but you know Marquette is going to take its sweet time, already up by 3 goals, to try to find a way to expose the Jacksonville defense
There's
again.
another speed dodge straight down the alley with a throwback.
Shot and another goal. It bounced right in front of Hunter Sells, and nothing can go right for the Jacksonville defense, and there's a goal from Connor McClelland.
Another low shot from distance. So this is either a scout or just Hunter's not seeing the ball too well.
Marquette's offense firing on all cylinders right now, up 5-1 on the road. Last time the Golden Eagles played here at DB Milne Field, it was a 17-1 thrashing 2 years ago.
Well, it's a quick early start by Marquette, and that's another step down, late slide, but still that's from a decent distance. Nice forward win by JU.
Good face-off win now with Jack Pucci. His quick shot.
Jacksonville signaling for a goal.
They're not going to give it to him. They're going to say it was a good save by John Holzman. That sums up the first quarter in a nutshell.
He ends up on his backside on these saves, but they are acrobatic, and Pucci thought he scored.
Flag down. It's going to go against JU in the next stoppage. And Marquette can run this first quarter clock all the way down, but the quick shot stop the clock and bring on the penalty.
Marquette's feeling cagey on these shots right now. Obviously, that was a free possession. Wasn't that critical if you missed that shot, but they are feeling and seeing blood in the water right now with Hunter Sells, and they're taking some aggressive shots. And that's Pucci again with the penalty.
The clock stopped at 59 seconds.
Second penalty for the freshman attacker.
And third of the quarter overall. There's Pucci again. Thought he had a goal. Just an incredible play made by Holzman, who just laid down on his back, and again,
offsides.
Right there midfield. Yep. Still a penalty on the Dolphins. 2 for 2. Marquette is already on the extra man.
We'll see if Jacksonville stretches out to get the pressure on those top shooters right now. You'd expect him to, but then that opens things up right on the crease.
Olden Patterson sends it up top.
Under 30 in the quarter.
Looking on the doorstep for Wagner, and he finishes right in front. It's almost too easy on the attack for Marquette right now.
Well, it's easy when you're extra man, and that's the third extra man goal for Marquette. Just a lack of self-control, offsides by the attackman twice in a row, results in goals.
Just about every error Jacksonville has made, Marquette has made them pay for it and then some.
So this is going to be a job for the Jacksonville coaching staff to instill confidence in their team that you can come back. Don't hit the panic button yet. But they have to start playing with a little more poise due to the JU Dolphins.
Wagner with the fake down low. It's an all Big East move right there. Just the skill and making it look so effortless. Less than 20 to play in the first quarter.
A lot of credit to Marquette on that faceoff. There were two JU Dolphins on that ground ball, and Marquette comes up with it.
Luke Anderson lets it fly. It goes wide right of the cage, and Olden Patterson backs it up. Freshman has 5 seconds left. 8 seconds left.
They gave it to Jacksonville.
I beg your pardon, thank you, Ray, but a length of the field pass. Looking for Bo. Hunter picks it up. Has a second left, lets it go. Would have counted if he got it into the back of the net, but after 15 minutes, Marquette with 3 extra man goals has made Jacksonville pay for its mistakes. Still plenty of time left in this one. 6-1 heading to the second quarter here in Jackson.
Oof.
Wow. What a nice place. Hey, Grandma. What are you doing here?
Eat.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Make it what you want.
Due to the citywide outbreak, you are advised to take shelter at the police station.
Anybody here?
I don't like the sound of that.
We're getting out of here.
Leon!
My mission is to take down Umbrella's entire operation. They're secretly making bioweapons.
Count me in.
Available now for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Rated M for mature.
Sweat! Dedication! Cupcakes!
We play football together for the Titans.
Now, we own a cupcake shop. I love this new Surface Pro. It's light, it's sleek, it's fast. Cupcakes are a great business.
As long as you don't eat the profits.
Discover card.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep.
We match all the cash back new card members earn at the end of their first year.
Automatically.
Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 for $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we all just got new smartphones at Cricket. Hi. Hi.
Hola.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Infinity. Empower the drive.
Start of the second quarter and a face-off win for Marquette. Just pure domination in those first 15 minutes for the Golden Eagles. Outshooting Jacksonville 17-5. And more importantly, one of those big keys of the game we were talking about before, Ray, 8-2 in the battle on the ground.
Yeah, those ground balls are going to be critical. Marquette is going to want to extend possessions, and there's an unforced error, so a break for Jacksonville. Whether it's your goalie making saves, you're winning the face-offs, or you're battling on ground balls, getting and keeping the ball is obviously key for both of these teams, and Marquette's winning on all counts.
Really, Jacksonville's time of possession on offense a small fraction of what Marquette did to bleed the clock and capitalize on some errors and take a 5-goal lead into the second quarter. Evan Tyler, who only had the lone goal for Jacksonville in the first quarter.
Want to see Jacksonville push these midi matchups. Somebody's got to create offense from the midfield.
Bo Hunter, the freshman, loses it, and just see Jacksonville being pushed back by Brendan Connolly. Led the Golden Eagles in forced turnovers a year ago and coming up with a big one there.
You'd like to see Bo Hunter protect his stick a little bit better. He brought it right in front of him, gave the defender a nice target, and a good takeaway check. But just fundamental lacrosse. Don't bring your stick in front where the defender can check it. You got to shield it. This is Division I lacrosse, and the freshman just learned a lesson.
Marquette, that came into the season ranked 19th in the polls. And Coach Joe Amplo is so confident in his bunch that he has a bag packed already in his office, which he proudly displays for whomever walks in. And it's so funny because he just believes in his team that much. He has his packed suitcase from his Team USA days in Israel. It's a good save made by Hunter Sells. But he wants people to believe it. If you see it enough, he thinks, okay, you start to vision going to Philadelphia. He said, I have my bag packed for 6 days. I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I believe in this team to get to Memorial Day weekend.
Wow, Jacksonville is just struggling right now.
They couldn't even get it past midfield. Nick Singleton scoops up the ground ball.
On that last possession, Andrew Romagnoli took a shot that Hunter Sells has to be so thankful for. Just didn't have much on it. And if you're a struggling goalie, getting one of those beach balls coming at you gives you an opportunity to reset and get your mind right.
Doesn't have much time to reset as Marquette ready to go at him once more with Tanner Thompson.
So here's that 6-on-6 defense. Can Jacksonville play with Marquette? And right now the Marquette middies are winning the battle.
Draws the double, hands it off to Wagner. Looking over, Orsini. Up close, couldn't finish high of the crossbar.
Orsini did a nice job of letting loose. Good, quick release on that shot, just over the bar. The close defense of Jacksonville is doing okay so far. It's that midi problem that's going on right now. Speed and separation. See if Jacksonville can regroup here.
Connor McClelland, one-on-one with the short stick, gives it off. 15 seconds on the shot clock for Marquette. Bob Pelton looking to create something with 6. And a good defensive possession after the turnover by the Dolphins.
Give a lot of credit to freshman Troy Hediger for Jacksonville. Great one-on-one midi defense. We talked about that struggle that they've had in the first quarter. That was a nice job by the freshman.
Sells up the field to Hediger, one of those freshmen that this Jacksonville coaching staff is really excited for, the talent they brought in here for the 2019 season. But that's the problem, the youth and inexperience showing at times throughout this first half, and also that second half against Duke where they simply ran out of gas.
So here's Drosos inverting from behind the goal. Oh, he slipped, lost his footing. Going to be a crease violation.
I'm going to say no push. He just lost his footing. And
they're giving it back to Jacksonville. I guess they did call a push.
I stand corrected. So another opportunity for Drosos, and Jacksonville's Coach Amplo not pleased with the call. Dolphins only had 2 second-half goals against Duke after it was tied 6-all.
So here's Applegate with that shorty again. You'd expect him to win this battle because he does it with long poles day in and day out. Nice look.
Finds a cutter, but can't finish.
What a save. Just a blind little swipe at the ball on the goal line, and Hulsman steals that one back.
Kieran Burns, the Villanova transfer, on the doorstep, gets stuffed by Hulsman. Starting to look like a lot of what happened last spring when he was at Bellarmine. A career-high 17 saves in the game against Jacksonville.
Marquette is winning these battles of the loose ball right now. Jacksonville had an opportunity, a couple chances at that ball, but here comes Marquette back on offense.
Whistle halts play, and it's a timeout by Marquette. Just over 5 minutes into the second quarter. The Golden Eagles haven't extended their lead, but they have a comfortable one here on the road. When we come back, Jacksonville tries to mount the comeback before going to halftime.
What a nice place. All right, Grandma. What are you doing here?
Eat.
Okay. I'll see you on Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Make it what you want.
I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cash back new card members earn at the end of their first year.
Automatically.
Woo, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
At AutoZone, you get what you need when you need it. Got a today job? Pick it up free same day at your local AutoZone. More of a tomorrow project? Order as late as 10 p.m. with free next day delivery. Getting the job done just got easier.
Marquette taking advantage of Jacksonville's miscues in the first half, and as a result leads 6-1. And in another matchup between John Galloway in his third year against Joe Amplo in his seventh. Well, what has been a close series, this game showing shades of the matchup 2 years ago where Marquette won 17-1 on this field.
I like that timeout by Coach Amplo because he likes a settled, defensive, slow-paced game, and it's gotten helter-skelter. Fortunately for Marquette, they've won the ground ball battle and the loose ball battle, and this just gives him an opportunity to kind of catch your breath, guys. We're not in a hurry. Let's stretch this thing out and play Marquette lacrosse, and it's been successful so far today.
Jordan Schmid, the redshirt freshman. Levangie defending. Pass a little high. Not close enough for Jacksonville's midfielders to potentially force the turnover and go on the break.
Pressing way out again on those middies.
Good lane to the goal, but can't finish.
That's good hustle by Dixon Smith.
Mikey Zagdroda.
So they're going to say Dixon Smith stepped down the line before the ball went out, so he takes himself out of the play, and it's awarded to Marquette.
Right into the stick of John Wagner. Wagner slips with 15 seconds on the shot clock. The double team can't get the turnover. Sells in the crease. Well, he uses that as a nice little protective shield to give Jacksonville a rare ground ball.
This is a nice opportunity for Jacksonville to kind of settle things up and get it back on offense.
Coach wanted them to take advantage in transition, but Levangie on the run can't finish.
Boy, he hit the post last week against Duke on a similar play. Jacksonville gets the ball back. Quick restart.
After Golden Eagles stepped out of bounds and Eric Applegate on the restart. What does Jacksonville have to do here on this possession to find a way to score a goal?
I still like that Applegate matchup with the short stick on him. Now he's got the long pole back on him, but either the middies have to create offense by a one-on-one battle wins, and they just have not been able to do that. Nobody's beating their man.
Evan Tyler turning the corner, feet in front, and Jeremy Winston finishes.
What a great look and a great finish, and Jeremy Winston has such great scoring potential. Did it as a freshman last year, and this could just be the goal to get him going in 2019.
Oh, a rocket brings Jacksonville back to within 4, and if you're Coach Galloway, hopefully that starts moving the gears a little bit, getting the offensive juices flowing.
I thought Tyler was going to shoot, and he just dipped it off, and look at this no-look, just blasts it high to high. Jeremy Winston from Evan Tyler. You could tell how excited Jeremy Winston is. He scored a lot of goals last year, and that's his first one of 2019.
Had 5 goals in a game in the Moe's Classic against Ohio State. That game coming up next weekend. But look, you got to find small victories any way you can.
That was a nice one. Hunter Tyler jumped the gun there on that whistle, and so it's going to be awarded to Marquette. We've seen throughout the Galloway years here at JU where his team have battled back 3, 4, 5 goals early. They close it up. They'd like to get the opportunity to get the ball back and get that offense to gain some confidence.
Just last week, Jacksonville trailed 5-2. It looked like Duke was going to start to open it up in the second quarter, but a nice mini run by the Dolphins ended up taking it 6-6 into the locker room.
We haven't seen a lot of assisted midi-to-midi goals for Jacksonville, and that was a beautiful example of sharing the ball.
Good defense from Zach Deacon, the freshman. but a penalty marker is down.
Boy, a dangerous opportunity for Marquette, and now they're going back on man up.
Jack Zerillo with the missed shot, but like you mentioned, the 4th extra man opportunity.
Slash.
So the 1-minute penalty on the freshman Deacon. It looked like he was sticking with him for a little bit, but again, took another whack, and Ray, it just seems like Jacksonville is starting to continue its mistakes it made in the first quarter.
Just getting yourself out of position a little bit. That is a ticky-tack call.
Coach Galloway not impressed by the call, but you see it got a little bit of the face mask and the helmets. And again, the 4th time tonight.
I'm anxious to see whether Marquette stays with those low shots from distance.
Wagner misses wide. Orsini there for the restart. Zerillo working it up top for Thompson.
Great ball movement.
A lot of quick passes. Jacksonville defense staying honest. Wagner works around his man, lets it go, and Sells.
Crease violation.
There you go. Sells was begging for a call there as he almost watched that ball trickle in front of 2 blue jerseys.
Well, he anticipated that low shot and got there, and that was a beautiful save. And we've seen Hunter Sells make a couple of saves now, and hopefully he's seeing the ball with some confidence, and Jacksonville's got it back on offense. Huge possession.
Penalty ready to be released as Evan Tyler looks to the sideline. Now Jack Dolan has it, so nearly 10 minutes into the second quarter, the Dolphins looking for back-to-back goals on this possession.
Here comes Dwayne Matuszek out of the box. He's typically an attackman. He subs out of the midfield.
Dolan lost it out of his stick.
Good hustle by Matuszek.
Somehow kept it in.
Shutting off Applegate.
Tyler looking in front once again, and a diving shot draws a flag.
Free possession once again for Jacksonville. Like to get a good look at the goal right now.
Dolan draws it. Now it's with Tyler going towards the middle of the field. Spins right, lets it go, but a save made by Holzman. And another extra man opportunity for Jacksonville's offense.
Great save by Holzman. We've seen a few today. He has Jacksonville's number throughout last year when he was with Bellarmine. Another good save. I like the confidence of Evan Tyler, lefty, righty. Took a nice shot there, but Holzman got it. But Jacksonville has an extra man opportunity. 1 minute variety. See Tyler with that look down low. Oh, now that's a penalty. No doubt about it.
The last time Jacksonville had a man-up advantage, the possession resulted in a shot clock violation.
Got Burns out there, about 4 attackmen on this extra man. Good man ball by Jacksonville and Eric Applegate.
Applegate falls to the turf, might be shaken up. In front, Burns gets denied by the leg of Holzman.
A good physical defensive stand by Marquette on that man-down unit.
Oh, you can't stop him as finally it gets across midfield for Marquette and Brendan Connolly. Running down the sideline and going to no man's land. Marquette calls its second timeout. Still a man down for the next 10 seconds, but a much-needed timeout after an unforced turnover, and Marquette still keeping that 4-goal advantage thanks to some stingy defense.
Anybody here?
My mission is to take down Umbrella's operation. They're secretly making bioweapons.
Count me in. Available now. Rated mature.
Here we go.
Discover.
I like your card, but I'm absolutely not paying an annual fee.
Discover has no annual fees.
Really?
Yeah. We just don't believe in them.
Oh, nice. You would not believe how long I've been rehearsing that.
No annual fee on any card, only from Discover.
Are you wearing my jersey?
What? No. Cole Perez 3.
And what's the 3 stand for?
I'm a triple threat. I help with home, auto, and this knee tells me when it's going to rain outside. Don't worry, I put the top up on your car.
man-up advantage. John Holzman pulling out all the stops so far in the first half to keep Jacksonville stuck on just 2 goals. And that's what you said, too, is when you have that man-up advantage, you're down 4, you have to find some way to execute on that possession.
Kieran Burns had a good look at the cage. He's on the doorstep. He took a shot. It was saved by Holzman. He hit the deck. Very aggressive physical defense by Marquette. But that was a pretty good look for Jacksonville. You'd hope to get one by. Holzman is just standing tall right now. Difference in the game.
So Marquette, which almost saw defenseman Brendan Connolly fall out of bounds, wisely called a timeout, so not giving the ball back to Jacksonville with Jackson Ellert on the sideline looking on after his penalty.
So you see Jacksonville shutting off the adjacent pass and going for the double team as they are still man up.
John Wagner with a chance to run out the clock.
So Jordan Young peels off to find the open man, and both teams are at even strength.
A huge penalty kill again for Marquette. Coming out here to Jacksonville, all the way from Milwaukee, where we can only imagine the weather right now this time of year. But just a total business-like attitude out of the gates from this team. Orsini up top working it around. Romagnoli finds a way to beat Sells once more. Another low shot. And Marquette is using that one key to its advantage, extending the lead back up to 5.
You mentioned it, Sean. Another low shot. Not a lot of pace on that. It was high to low. And Sells is just struggling a little bit. There's no two ways about it. Marquette is confident. They've had a couple of those fall, and they're just going to keep hammering and hammering it home until Sells starts making some saves and Jacksonville gets some turnovers.
Romagnoli right around Andrew Young. And what a story for the fifth-year senior out of Central New York. Started his career at Marquette, then transferred to Delaware. Kicked off the team for a violation of team rules a year ago. Met up with Coach Amplo and his family. Talked things out at dinner. And Coach Amplo wasn't shy about asking him about his time at Delaware and what led to him being off the team. Said he grilled him about his character and everything he stood for. And at the end of the dinner, he was offered a spot on the team. And it's good to see the guy that went through so much that we can only imagine get his opportunity to get back and not only be on the team, but play a vital part in this season.
Gotta love the second chances. These are kids. These coaches are teachers and mentors, and you just can only hope that kids will behave like he has and learn from their mistakes.
Played his high school ball at Christian Brothers Academy up in the Syracuse area.
Uncle Ricky Beast, Rick Beardsley, head coach of CBA.
Rick Beardsley, one of the best in Central New York.
He'll be the first one to tell you, too. Just kidding, Ricky.
Quick shot out of bounds, and Marquette there to back it up yet again. Under 3 minutes to play in the second quarter that has just flown by. Just 2 goals so far in this quarter. And all Coach Galloway can do is look on after he brought so much excitement and energy to this week. This team trying to make amends for that second half against Duke, which saw a potential major upset in the SoCon for the second time in a matter of days after High Point took down Duke and Durham. But right there, another strong defensive possession.
Yeah, got to love those shot clock violations. You know that Marquette's going to extend towards the end of the shot clock, and Jacksonville stood strong and got the ball back. In the past, you might see Marquette totally stall. Now they just can't, so it gives the team that's trailing, in this case Jacksonville by 5 goals, an extra opportunity to get the ball back and try to get something going on offense as Dolan brings it in.
I remember he made that point last week, too. The stall warning was such a judgment call for officials. Well, now you bring that out of the equation. If you're a defense, you know, at least for now, you don't have to worry about overplaying or trying to force a turnover, because if you just play good defense for those 60 to 70 seconds, you can get the ball back.
Evan Tyler beats his man, had the short stick on him, and that was a speed dodge, and he's got so much confidence right now, Sean, and you saw it on display right there.
And a quick and much-needed goal for Jacksonville. Something we haven't seen this entire first half, Ray. But right there, you see the clapping from John Galloway in the sideline, perking up a little bit more. Dolphins trying to cut away at the deficit before the end of the half. And like you said, Tyler basically untouched going to the middle of the field.
You'd like to see that same confidence that Evan Tyler's showing rub off on some of those other middies. I think Jeremy Winston's got the potential. Whoever's got that short stick on him needs to go. Whether it's Applegate, we've seen the short stick on Pucci, we've seen it on both midfielders, Dolan and Evan Tyler.
Another battle for the face-off win. Ground ball picked up by Dixon Smith. Almost thrown away by Andrew Young. Dolphins still 10 seconds to get it up the field.
Gonna make that quick pass to Dolan.
Gets it across with 2 seconds to spare.
So now we've got Dolan with the short stick on him. I think that's what Jacksonville's going to try to do, attack the shorty.
25-second differential between the shot clock and where the game clock is. Dolan sends it up top for Winston.
Applegate with the short stick.
Staying honest and draws the double team. Richard around him. Great defense from Marquette, shutting off all those passes and making the Dolphins reset with 30 on the shot clock.
Ooh, that's high.
Dolan gets trucked, and there's your penalty marker. Still on his feet with the ball, and now loses it.
Boy, Applegate took a little swing there. Fortunate not to get called, but Jacksonville's getting these chances. They're staying in it, and now they have an extra man opportunity. See if it's a 1 minute. It was high. Cross-check. Just one. The referee has some discretion on those high hits to add time to it. I like this call. We're going to call cross-check.
Going against the freshman Aaron Joseph. His brother Noah, the former Marquette midfielder.
You've got Applegate, Pucci, and Dolan up top. Tushik behind the goal at Axe with Bowhunter.
Dolphins really trying to take advantage before the end of the half. And a timeout called by Jacksonville and John Galloway looking to set something up with 30 seconds left. So keep things here, Ray. In your expert opinion, if you're in the huddle drawing up something, what are you looking for in these last 30 seconds?
Well, it depends on what Marquette's doing. Are they pressuring behind? Are they leaving room on the crease? Jacksonville just wants to spin that ball faster than the defense can rotate, try to get some redirection, and either if they extend out on you to the midfield, you look to the crease. If they're leaving the crease open or covering the crease, somebody's got to stretch the defense and shoot from outside. So you got to play with what the defense is giving you here. You have an extra man, move the ball.
Dolphins trail by 4. A major reason is John Holzman. Whenever Jacksonville has had an opportunity to chip away at a big deficit at the start of the first quarter, he's come out going low, going high, doesn't matter.
That's right. And you see Evan Tyler, he's shooting. He had the post, had a nice save, and that was that save on the extra man by Kieran Burns, taking one for the team. But Holzman has been the difference in this game, in my opinion.
Jacksonville huddle going over things before breaking for halftime.
So you've got 30 seconds on the game clock, 47 seconds on the penalty. So Jacksonville will try to get one good look at the cage. If the period ends with Jacksonville in possession of the ball, they will not have a face-off to start the second half. So you want to get a good look at the cage, take advantage of this 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. If not, keep the ball for the second quarter.
The second just half. The sophomore and the first team all SoCon last year as a freshman. About a 60% save percentage.
That's in a conference with Tim Troutner Jr. from High Point and a lot of good goalies, so it just goes to show the respect the coaches have for Holzman in the SoCon.
Applegate has it with 20 on the game clock.
There's Pucci. That's a look.
Lets it rip. It's wide. And Dolan with 14 seconds left waiting for the restart.
Still time to go. You don't want to hold it with 15 seconds left. You want to get a good look at the cage, but if that time runs down, you're going to see him just back it out and hold it for the second half.
5 seconds left. Applegate looks like he is going to wait as John Galloway on the sideline tells his team to hold it. So Jacksonville will start with a 15-second man-up advantage starting the third quarter. But right now it's Marquette taking care of business on the road. It started in the opening minutes of the game as Coach Joe Amplo fired up on the sidelines. Jeremy Winston had a goal that cut away at the deficit. But right now it's Marquette stopping Jacksonville defensively, taking a 4-goal lead into halftime. Quality opponents.
Yeah. Pipe stayed big, and Coach Galloway mentioned that if Jack Dolan could have waited 20 more seconds, I would have sounded like a genius right there. But,
to him, a quick goal, really on the verge of something special. If he can.
My mission is to take down Umbrella's operation. They're secretly making bioweapons.
Count me in.
Available now. Rated mature.
Marquette takes a 4-goal lead into the second half, and under Coach Joe Amplo, we just talk about the attitude and everything he represents while playing at Hofstra for John Danowski and using everything he's learned to take Marquette to the NCAA tournament in back-to-back years before a 6-8 season a year ago. You can really tell what he's building at Marquette. I know the Big East may not be known for its lacrosse, but he's really on the verge of something special if he can turn it around this year.
Yeah, you saw a big smile on his face right there. He likes what his team's done so far, playing with that Amplo energy all amped up. Jacksonville had possession on the man-up as time expired, so no face-off here in a 17-second extra man remaining here to start the third quarter. And Coach Galloway's smiling. He knows his team has the capability of chipping away at this lead, and it's going to start on the extra man.
Jacksonville was 0 for 2, not including this current man-up advantage in the first half. But you know it's imperative to come out with a goal, especially at home.
Well, they don't have to get a shot off this man-up right now. They just need to work the ball around. They have this free possession. Keep it away from Marquette.
Applegate up to Jack Pucci, the freshman.
When you have a goalie
on the doorstep in front for Dolan, and they're going to give it to him. A quick goal in the opening 15 seconds of the third quarter brings Jacksonville back to within 3.
What I was going to say, and Jack Dolan demonstrated it for me, when you have a goalie as active as Hulsman is, you want to get him moving. Coach Galloway mentioned that before the game. Throw some fakes in there, and you watch. What Jack Dolan did was get the goalie moving. He was patient. He was poised. So when that feed from Applegate comes in on the no-look, there's a little fake, get the goalie moving, and shoot away from the stick.
Yeah, leave it for a goalie to know how to beat a goalie.
Well, and Coach Galloway mentioned that if Jack Dolan could have waited 20 more seconds, I would have sounded like a genius right there. But
it's all about the timing.
So that was a great way to start the second half, and that's why it was so important to keep the possession and not force a shot at the end of the first half.
Ball still loose at midfield, and Dixon Smith came up with it for a moment, but both teams still battling for it. Shuffles over into front of Coach John Galloway. Finally, it is won by Marquette. Luke Anderson fighting. And the defensive midfielder coming away with it, now bringing it over to the attack. That's a crucial win for Marquette after giving up the goal.
It was. Those were the balls that Marquette won in the first half, that if Jacksonville wants to stay in this game, chip away at the lead, you'd like to see them pick up some of those ground balls, but now they're in that settled 6-on-6 defense where they're confident.
Marquette.
This is a fast midfield. That first step, the shake and bake move, that's where they've been winning the battles at the midfield so far.
Still, after leading 5-1 at the end of the third quarter, this is the closest it's been in a while, and Hunter Sells looking to get up there.
Crease violation, and that was a good case of the defender, Barnhorst, forcing a bad angle, and Hunter Sells made a nice save, stayed on his pipe, stayed big, and that was a beautiful defensive effort. Nothing glamorous on that play, just forced the attacker to where you wanted him to shoot from.
Across the field for Hayden Levangie. Now with Eric Applegate, who was quiet in the first half. Senior captain looking to come alive here and lead a comeback.
Tyler wants the ball. He's calling for it up top.
They give it to Bowhunter, bounce shot wide, and Levangie sprints to back it up.
So Jacksonville will get some substitutes. Levangie, the defensive midi, will come off. Here's that invert with Dolan behind the goal again with the midi.
Gives up to Jeremy Winston, who had that rocket in the first half.
And there's Tyler with the short stick on him again.
Defender slips. Jacksonville, again, like we mentioned, the big deficit early in this game. But give credit to this young bunch. They have come back and fought in each of its 2 games this year. Winston shot denied.
It's a short time on that shot clock. Rebound score.
What a quick turn of events in front of the cage after a great save by John Holzman. A loose ball right in front of the crease is put away. It looked like Jack Dolan, but there were still 3 green jerseys, and just like that, a bounce that goes Jacksonville's way is now a 2-goal deficit.
You couldn't have asked for a better start if you're Jacksonville University. They had that goal off the opening of the second half with no face-off on that extra man, and that's just an opportunistic play.
Well, you don't need a 5-hour energy to wake up for this one after trailing by as many as 5. Jacksonville makes it 7-5.
There's Jeremy Winston. That's the save by Holzman. Flops it on the ground.
Ball's just loose in front, and look at that. It was Jack Dolan. It seemed like the whole Marquette defense was confused as to where the ball was, and Dolan, how about that?
Sean, I don't call that a garbage goal. That's recycling. That's making the most of what you have, and so quick to get that ball off the turf and into the back of the net.
That's green. It's good, you know.
It's green out day here today at JU.
There's so much going around on this campus. Baseball starting the season tonight. Women's lacrosse, its first game of the year, and a big win over UC Davis just earlier this afternoon.
That was a nice face-off win and ground ball by Hunter Turner, the Fogo.
Starting to see a new kind of energy from this Jacksonville bunch.
Good patience by Tyler. He looked to the backside to Pucci, decided to pull it out, and let the offense balance up with Will Berkeley with the ball. Oh, this is a good matchup for Jacksonville right here.
Winston trying to go by Anderson. Now Berkeley trying to back his man down. Eric Applegate looking. Gives it up over to Bowhunter, the behind the back shot. Are you kidding me?
There were so many beautiful things happening on that play, and what a tremendous finish. Applegate with the beautiful feed, and Bowhunter just dazzles. Bullseye.
Somebody get that man on Sports Center. What a goal by the freshman Bowhunter. We've heard it throughout the preseason how great this kid is and how just mesmerizing he is once he gets the ball. Well, now you know why John Galloway says get him the ball every possession.
And Applegate with the vision, that's the first one. Working it back through X, get the defense moving, no-look pass, and look at that. Off-stick side, beautifully placed. I want to see who that assist was from. I think it might have been Matushik, but it was a tremendous no-look pass back to Bowhunter. It's a 1-goal game, Sean.
Just like that, after trailing by 5, it was 7-2 when a Jacksonville blitz out of the gates in the third quarter brings them within 1.
Applegate working it back to X, then popping it back out to Bowhunter out front. You get that defense moving back to front, get the goalie moving side to side, and it ends up with a Jacksonville goal, and it's 7-6. It looked like this thing was getting away from Jacksonville. A little hidden ball there, but Jacksonville recognizes it.
After struggling mightily on attack in the first quarter and even after that, a great comeback by Jacksonville. Like we mentioned, a lot of freshmen and inexperience on this team, but they have kept fighting in this one at home.
Boy, they are so aggressive on defense with those double teams.
Marquette trying to take advantage, and they stop the run right there. Bob Pelton from distance, bringing Marquette back up to 2 and easing those fears on defense.
What great play by Marquette right there. Jacksonville was flying around, double teams, and they showed the poise to catch and pass under pressure, find the open man, and another time and space shot blown past center cells from about 13 yards.
Another look at a distance goal for Marquette.
Wow, that's 15. Time and space from 15 yards. Whether he should save it or not, I'm not going to make that determination from up here. You don't know if he's screened, but 15 yards is a long ways away.
Face-off violation on Jared Hirschman, giving the ball back to Jacksonville.
Evan Tyler with the ball. So we're seeing Will Berkeley get some run with this first midfield unit right now.
That's with Jack Dolan, who had that great scoop and score in front of the net. Giving it up top to Jack Pucci. And Berkeley, nearly a turnover for Jacksonville. Still settling into this possession. And again, after trailing 7-2, this team has roared back to make it a 2-goal game. Shot off the pipe again.
That's still a shot, so Jacksonville's going to chase it out and keep possession. Good hustle, good dive. Boy, that was a nice rip. Beat the goalie, but hit the post.
But like you mentioned, the most important part, you get a reset on the 80-second shot clock, and you get to back it out and try to rework it again.
And Jacksonville bringing the fresh legs in.
Coach John Galloway calling his team underdogs for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season in front. And Tyler, the hesitation move, makes it a 1-goal game again.
Great vision by Bo Hunter, and what a nice finish. We talk about making the goalie move, throw those fakes. When you have a goalie who likes to flop, jump around, get him moving, and just tremendous poise.
And how about a redemption story for Evan Tyler? Back-to-back hat tricks against Duke and Marquette this early in the season. I don't think anybody expected him to come out on fire like this as a junior.
And look at this feed, just the ball movement. Bo Hunter with a little no-look across, and look at the poise. Fake, fake. Oh, he juked him. I think Holzman might have to adjust himself there. His socks might have fallen a little down. Just great poise. When you catch the ball in the crease, you're expecting to get hit and to just concentrate and have the time and patience. Just a tremendous season so far by Evan Tyler, back-to-back hat tricks. And you mentioned a redemption story. We talked about Romagnoli earlier for Marquette. Similar situation for Evan Tyler, from not being on the team to being a team captain and now a team leader. We saw him last year in the SoCon tournament come up big, and great start to 2019.
We talk about the underdog card Jacksonville's trying to play to just elevate its wide shot. It's motivation, I guess. That's what John Galloway wants to do, is to get these guys to believe in themselves, even though they're freshmen and they're young. They don't have a lot of experience on the field in these big games. Oh boy, are they answering the bell big time here at home in the second half. Tanner Thompson working on Andrew Mitchell. Now on the doorstep, Holden Patterson wide. But there to back it up is Thompson and Marquette. This is the team that excels in 1-goal games, somehow finding a way to win those games. 5-2 in 1-goal games just a year ago. And just the execution late works, and another bounce shot right past Sells, and it's Romagnoli for a second goal in the same move.
Yeah, that was a nice little opportunity for Romagnoli to get a little bit of time and space, and these bounce shots are puzzling Hunter Sells right now. Another speed dodge, just outrun your man, high bouncer.
Trying to play it low. And right after he got around the freshman Deacon.
To me, it can only be a scouting report, because very rarely in Division I do you see so many low shots, bounce shots, and it's just one after another.
You talk about why people are so excited for this Marquette team this year. It's because you get Tanner Thompson back. You also get Romagnoli back, and especially with the shot clock rules and maybe changing the pace at which Marquette wants to play, you get those type of goal scorers out there. It may even out those fears that people think that they couldn't play at this fast a pace or adjust to these new rules. And we've seen on display already how much talent those guys bring on the attack.
Little plays, little pieces of the game. Bo Bohunter just made a huge play right there to keep possession because it looked like it was going out of bounds, and it's little things like that from the freshman that you can only hope continue and rub off on his teammates.
Pass and traffic by Winston, and Marquette will gladly take advantage as Nick Grill scoops up the ground ball all alone.
As sloppy as Jacksonville's played, as many times as they've been man down today, for them to be just 2 goals down here midway through the third quarter is amazing to me.
Luke Anderson getting across midfield with just 2 seconds.
Look at the coaching staff from Marquette. Jeremy Winston went off sides and the refs didn't see it. And the coaching staff from Marquette rightly is incensed. There's
now
a flag.
Flag is down.
Way late, but it was clear. Unfortunately, Winston was the midi who should have stayed back, but jumped over. So we've seen that 3 times today, offsides.
Let's see if Marquette can take advantage. Shot and another goal. Pelton with another one. Just seems like he was throwing it up there, and it works yet again, and it's a 3-goal game just like that.
You could hear the coaching staff yell, hold tight, Deacon, and that was Zach Deacon playing defense and playing good defense, and it just goes to show what a great catch and release and just persistence from Marquette on offense. They had the delayed penalty, so they had a free shot. They were patient. Deacon was playing good defense. If you watch him, he's right in his hip right here. Pressure to the top side, pressure to the soft side, and just shoots around the defender. Sometimes you'll see a shooter take that shot, and his man who's covering him creates a screen. You really can't say anything bad about the defense there. Just a great shot. Back to a 3-goal Marquette margin.
Ground ball, Jacksonville can't get it. Loose in front, and it's finished by Wagner. What a turn of events here. After it was a 1-goal game, Marquette has had a 3-goal burst in just under 2 minutes.
First time ground balls. The first time fast ground balls, you're a Division I lacrosse player, you have an open chance to pick up a ground ball, you have to come up with it. And it cost Jacksonville a goal right there.
Might be Dixon Smith on the field right now for the Dolphins. Take a look at the loose ball. It seemingly looked like a Jacksonville win out of the face-off, but another quick move in front, and John Wagner, you put him one-on-one with any goalkeeper in America, he's going to make you pay.
He's 6'2", 200 pounds, and he moves like a gazelle. He kept his body under control, got that left hand back to the middle of the field, and shot it around Hunter Sells. But earlier off that draw, Jacksonville had an opportunity to get that ground ball in space. They booted it, and it results in a goal, and here we are, 12-5.
Dixon Smith limping off the fields. They're just adding injury to insult right there out of the face-off. You take away probably the best defender for Jacksonville, who's been the key guy on Wagner this afternoon. You take him out of the equation, what does Jacksonville's defense look like now?
They've got some experience in there at defense. Will be interesting to see who exactly comes in, whether it's Doban, that would be my guess. But it's going to be a different matchup. It looks like it's going to be number 15, Tyler Morris, the sophomore who saw considerable playing time, actually started earlier in the season. So Tyler Morris comes in, but it creates matchups. Does Jacksonville change those matchups? Do they leave Jack Heed on Patterson or Jordan Young on Thompson, or try to switch somebody off to Wagner?
So after Jacksonville cut it to 1, a barrage from Romagnoli, Pelton, and now Wagner makes it a 4-goal deficit again for Jacksonville. Same as it was at halftime. But a big face-off win and ground ball win, just trying to take back some of the momentum that had these Jacksonville players juiced moments ago.
So we see Brett Riley back out on the midfield. Saw some time at attack last season and at midfield, so Jacksonville's trying to change up some of those matchups at the midfield.
Jack Dolan looking for the pick. Sends it behind for Eric Applegate. Cuts back inside and throws it away.
They're saying it was a shot.
They were, okay. Good break for Jacksonville. Applegate finds Tyler, lets it rip, and finds the back of the net again. 44 with his fourth is keeping the Dolphins in this one.
Great ball movement by Jacksonville, and they've had success working the ball to X behind the goal and back up top. Get the goalie turning, get the defense turning, and Evan Tyler's got that magic touch, and they're just feeding him. Evan Tyler.
Jacksonville looking to ride the hot hand. Good pass and a quick release with Brendan Connolly on the long pole, but like you mentioned about that last shot from Marquette, good defense, but again, you're that half step too late. And a lot of guys are going to make you pay for that mistake.
You know, Nick Grill is one of those players who, he's like a shutdown corner. You don't notice him if his guy doesn't get thrown to, like in football. Well, Eric Applegate is blanketed by Nick Grill, but he's not being impatient. He's giving it up. He's being unselfish, and that's why Jacksonville has had the opportunity to get it, work it around, and get it back up to Evan Tyler.
Dolphins nearly get its 5th goal from Tyler. That's Dwayne Matuszek, who we also haven't heard from much today. Just credit Marquette's defense.
They're keeping that shorty on Evan Tyler right here.
Nick Singleton looking to contain the Dolphins' top threat of the night. Now getting the switch. Tyler looking to give it up. Still plenty of time left in this one. Last year, these two teams went down to the wire, and it was a John Wagner goal in the final 10 seconds to give the Golden Eagles a 1-goal win. Around the cage, letting it go.
Berkeley got buried. Good aggressive defense. Look at Jeremy Winston flying back to prevent any type of odd man rush. That was impressive. Little play. Jeremy Winston might not notice it, but hustling back on defense. Play 6-on-6. That was one of the key to the games. Don't give up transition, and Jeremy Winston got the message. Marquette is moving the ball so rapidly. Just their passes look like shots, 90-mile-an-hour passes, and it's really forced the Jacksonville defense to stay alert, and you can't sleep on these guys.
Bob Pelton right past Deacon, and a good save made by Sells. That bounce shot, which has gotten past him a few times tonight, stepping up and making the big save in the final minutes of the third quarter.
Good clear.
What a move by Jacksonville. I almost had John Wagner looking for a
flag
shoes,
down.
But a flag is down. I don't know if it was an offsides call or what it could be upcoming, but Jacksonville looking to take advantage on a man up again.
This is a good opportunity for Jacksonville to be patient, work for a good shot. Nothing to lose here. You're going to get the ball back.
Dolan scores again. It's a 2-goal game.
Holzman went down on that bounce shot. We talked about him landing on his backside on a lot of his saves. That time he went down, the ball came up right over the goalkeeper, and Jacksonville battling and battling. Just when you think Marquette's going to run away with it, Jacksonville battles back. Watch this high bounce shot off the turf.
Dan Holzman almost had it yet again, but a fraction of a second too late. And like you mentioned, every time it looks like Marquette can run away with this one, Jacksonville makes one of those plays to keep them in it. Now, after back-to-back games with 8 goals, Dolphins with 9, what's it going to take in the next 18 minutes to pull off the comeback?
Well, the Jacksonville defensive middies are under a lot of pressure. Marquette is just running and running at them, and they've done okay in 6-on-6. They have to continue to do it.
How about that? Another face-off win.
Keep your eye on 14, Jeremy Winston. He's got the potential to be a game changer. We saw it last year as a freshman.
Even saw the screamer he had in the first half. Dolphins winning the face-off battle after coming into the game just 28% on the season.
Marquette with no LSM on right now, so they've got 3 short poles playing midi.
Dolan matched up with Noah Richard. Dolphins want a flag, and they get 2. So another free possession. Winston working around, has space.
Great save.
What a timely save made by Holzman. And it stops the clock, but an extra man coming up for Jacksonville.
See referee Chris Vahey ready to come over and signal the call. Proud Red Dragon from Cortland State is Vahey. The Harvard of upstate New York, that's what we call it.
Okay, not the Ivy League school.
Now, Cortland. There's the penalty. Right on the head.
Right there.
For dramatic effort. Grab it.
Noah Richard.
Pucci, Byrne, and Dolan up top. Bowhunter, Matushik.
And Matushik working behind the cage. Applegate with the ball.
I'd like to see Pucci get in a shooting position like that.
Bowhunter gets it blocked away, and Grill picks up the ground ball.
He's so good.
Beating the freshman to it, and you wonder the All Big East preseason selection really living up to the hype there. Learned from the best, too. His brother, BJ, was an All-American at Marquette just a couple of years ago. And funny, we were talking to some of the Marquette reps that came here to Jacksonville, and they were the ones saying as Bowhunter nearly gets the turnover.
They didn't get it across. They didn't get it across, 58 seconds. So Bowhunter with the hard ride, and Jacksonville earns it back.
Great job on that one. As Jacksonville has a chance with a handful of seconds left on the man-up advantage, but Dolan seems like he's going to slow things down with a minute left in the third quarter.
Talking about Nick Grill, 5'7", and just plays like a giant.
His brother was just 5'5", turned into an All-American. I guess it just runs in the family. Dolan with space. Off the pipe again.
Evan Tyler's calling for the goal. How many times have you seen Holzman end up on his backside, whether he's making the save or letting it in? He is all over the place. Very acrobatic.
Oh, it's a game of inches, and the Dolphins can't seem to buy one right now. It's still a 2-goal game. 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and the Golden Eagles can hold for the final shot.
Once again, that pressure on these defensive middies. He's going to keep it in his right hand. Jacksonville's seen the scouting report.
Hankhouse passes it off. Wagner.
Good team defense, good switch. Low to low.
And a quick goal by Hankhouse with 4.8 seconds left on the clock. What a backbreaker for Jacksonville after a strong third quarter.
That hurts. Marquette just so patient and poised, not worried about the clock, and just finds the good look and a nice low-to-low catch and release.
Had 2 goals in 2 games against Jacksonville in his career. Now make it 4-3.
Look at this look. Just a little feed to the crease. Defense is in decent position. The check doesn't come down, and another low shot.
Another low shot and a quick release as well.
See Dixon Smith back out there for Jacksonville, so that's good news. 12-9, 3-goal game.
Well, an exciting third quarter to say the least after the Dolphins trailed by 4, cut it to 1. How about that? Marquette a little too early. Clock starts, but an errant pass sends up in the end zone, and that takes us to the fourth quarter here at DB Milne Field. We've seen plenty of offensive firepower already. This one's going to come down to the last 15 minutes. The Dolphins have clawed.
Don't worry about the smoke damage. I can help.
What'd you do to your kitchen?
What did you do to my kitchen?
I ain't do nothing. But that's not me.
Only one movie is surprising audiences everywhere.
It's a unique sensation.
Fighting with My Family is the first truly great movie of 2019.
It's Dwayne Johnson.
And I'm Vin Diesel.
Dad, it's actually him.
I love you, Rob.
I love you too.
Fighting with My Family. Rated PG-13.
At AutoZone, you get what you need when you need it. Got a today job? Pick it up free same day at your local AutoZone. More of a tomorrow project? Order as late as 10 p.m. with free next-day delivery. Getting the job done just got easier.
For those times when you think you're ready, but then you aren't, and now you're late, you can unlock flexible cancellations. Introducing a rewards program made to keep modern life moving.
Not really the usual suspects that we were expecting tonight. Evan Tyler with 4 goals kept Jacksonville in this game in the first half. An impressive performance in back-to-back weeks for the junior captain. Meanwhile, for Marquette, Bob Pelton with an unexpected game. 0 goals coming into the game. He only had 5 career points. But he has come out and he has been firing all over the place.
Quick goal by Marquette, and that was the LSM number 55 coming back for Marquette. And just Noah Richard just showed so much speed, and he looked like an attacker.
Another quick goal from Marquette gets it back up to 4, and especially combine that with the goal in the last 5 seconds of the third quarter. You're just talking about winning, and that's what Jacksonville's trying to instill. Yeah, you like the scrappy comebacks, but you want to win these games, not just prove you can hang around with these big teams.
You know, the 1-goal loss to Detroit to start the season off, Jacksonville felt like they let one get away. They played 6-6 halftime with Duke, 3-goal margin in the after the third quarter against Duke, and they want to start winning. No more, we played okay, we competed with the big boys. It's about winning, and Jacksonville's got to flip the switch at some point and turn some of these close games into wins.
Andrew Young with a shot.
Back up by Marquette, though.
Confused as to why Jacksonville was in such a hurry in the opening 30 seconds of the fourth quarter, and what was once a 1-goal game now turning into a 4-goal deficit yet again. Jacksonville is going to have to turn on the afterburners after a big third quarter comeback to cut it to them.
We'll keep an eye on that clock to see how long it takes Marquette to really initiate the offense. They're at 56 seconds right now and in no hurry with that 4-goal lead.
Levangie gets beat, and Sells gets some help from the post.
We would really like to see some body, some contact on the man running straight to the cage, and saved by the pipe.
Jacksonville catches a break there, now trying to turn it into a goal. 5 seconds left for the Dolphins to get it across midfield.
Nice look.
Winds up with Levangie. Passes it off to Eric Applegate. Just show you the highlights of Evan Tyler's night. 4 goals for number 44. It's going to be a team effort if Jacksonville wants to mount an incredible comeback in the second half.
So you see McKenna coming on for Jacksonville from the midfield unit. So they've really been shaking up the middies, and we've seen about 4 different middies running with the first line, 4 on top of the 3 starters. So a total of 7 different middies. Love it. Pucci from distance. He's got the potential, righty or lefty, and he let it rip from distance. And that's going to make Marquette change up their defense, Sean. If they can start stretching the defense out, it's going to open up things for the attack. And Pucci's got so much potential. And he was a Marquette commit at one point.
Syosset grad coming down to Jacksonville, and nice little pick set up by Jack Dolan. And with that much time and space, even just a freshman, the 6'5 tank notching another goal.
These Jacksonville attackmen are learning their roles. You throw 2 dynamic players like Pucci and Bohunter in there with Applegate and Matushik and Burns. They have to figure out who's going to do what and what their capabilities are. It takes a little bit of time, and before too long, you're going to see Pucci, Bohunter, and the rest of the gang just assimilate and start playing together.
Huge face-off win for Marquette. And Noah Richard with the ground ball. Again, slows down the pace, but 4 seconds left for Marquette to get it up. And just does. It was Pucci with his first goal of the night, second of the year. Even after going 0 for 10 in his debut in a Jacksonville uniform, Galloway was saying how excited he was for that freshman, like you were just saying, Ray. He says you could see it, and you know how well these guys play in practice, but it's about using that in games, especially in the fourth quarter when games come down to the wire.
And when you're a big-time goal scorer, confidence does have a lot to do with it. And these opportunities for both, you saw Bo Hunter's goal and then Pucci's goal, they'll gain confidence and they'll start being a little more aggressive.
20 seconds on the shot clock for Marquette on the possession. Wagner rolling around past Dixon Smith.
That's a push.
The shot clock resets.
Wait, he pointed the wrong way. That was a push against Marquette.
And John Galloway jumping up and down and screaming at the initial call. Second look at that, and Jacksonville getting some help from the post.
Yeah, that was the right call at the midfield line. It was clear that Pucci got pushed over, and so Jacksonville doesn't get the quick restart, but they get the ball, and that's what coach is so upset right now, that it stopped the quick restart.
As frustrating as that may be for Jacksonville, the big point is at least you have the ball down by 3.
You go from one off the pipe at the other end to the ball on offense. It's a big win. 13-10, 3-goal game with a lot of time left and a shot clock, which guarantees the ball will come back.
See what Brendan McKenna can do at X. Gets the pick from Applegate. Up top, but a low pass intended for Jack Pucci results in a turnover. So again, a freshman-to-freshman connection. But more importantly, it seemed like a freshman mistake trying to be in a bit too much of a hurry.
You see some different personnel from Jacksonville, both on attack and at midfield, and that is something that, maybe they have some fresh legs to give it a good fourth quarter run against a Marquette defense that's been running up and down the field all afternoon.
Andrew Romagnoli.
You hear the bench yelling righty, righty, righty every time Romagnoli gets the ball. He put it in his left hand for just a pass, but he wants to dodge down that right alley, and they're going to overplay that right hand. See it. You can see it. There's that left-handed pass, but he doesn't want to go that way.
Orsini cutting middle. Blocked away. And another quick shot by Tanner Thompson is wide. Shot clock did not reset. It's still at 22 seconds, though, on the possession.
Good separation there and a nice little crank shot.
Looked like it went off the back of Jack Heed. At least it was intercepted for a moment. As there's 15 seconds on the shot clock for John Wagner. Matched up with Dixon Smith.
Staying on that left hand.
Romagnoli with 7 to shoot. Now it's Orsini letting it rip.
Deflected. That was deflected. He was going about mid-level, hit somebody, and went on the upper corner. Bad break for Jacksonville.
And what a goal for Marquette. A 4-goal lead with 10 to play on the road. And with just 5 seconds on the shot clock, Anthony Orsini, with a little bit of help, brings Marquette to a big-time lead, and you feel like you can exhale a little bit on that Golden Eagles sideline.
Watch this release right here. Short time, ball's going down, and the stick came in and deflected it. That was Dixon Smith just trying to make a play. Great camera work there. See that ball rise up? You see Sells was going down to make that save and just couldn't regroup.
After getting the friendly bounce off the goalpost, the equally unkind bounce off of Dixon Smith.
How about those old eyes? Seeing that deflection there. Not too bad for the goalkeeper up here in the booth.
And there you go, almost 2 games in.
I don't know if I would have made that save, but at least I saw it from 50 yards away.
Might be ready for the triple header coming up.
That's right. Old Timers game.
Those are on Sunday mornings.
Okay.
Eric Applegate with the ball for Jacksonville. And another intercepted pass by Marquette's defense.
Not sure where that one was going. I didn't see anyone in the vicinity and just lofted it right to the Marquette player. And not the type of production you want when you're trying to mount a comeback.
It hasn't always been pretty in the second half for Marquette, but thanks to that big jump in the game in the first half, especially in the first quarter where it was 6-1 by the end of those 15 minutes. Jacksonville's been playing catch-up ever since. And although making it a 1-goal game, those mistakes have piled up, and give credit to Marquette taking advantage of those.
Boy, Marquette's getting some good chances. Those middies are so quick. No backup on that shot. So
they're going to say he was in the crease too.
Sells is going to take over.
Still a 4-goal game, 9 minutes left.
Yep, Levangie, good vision by Hunter Sells to make that 30-yard pass to the midfield, and Levangie steps over.
Jacksonville going to have to play perfect if it wants to force overtime or stun Marquette late. Jack Dolan with the short stick. That's when Jacksonville has really created a lot of its offense tonight. Gets the pick from Dwayne Matuszek. Dolan looking to do it himself. And another intercepted pass on a telegraph pass. Leading Marquette out into the open. Connolly takes it across midfield. Up to Richard. Over to Thompson, but his shot is blocked. Now it's Thompson getting stripped.
Two Jacksonville players fighting over the same ball.
And Andrew Young gets his stick knocked out of his hand. There's just pure havoc on the field right now. Everybody taking lumberjack swings at each other. And an unforced turnover. No, just as a Jacksonville player was coming in, Eric Applegate saved it from going back to Marquette. Finally settle it down. Both teams still with one timeout as we reach the midway point in the fourth quarter.
Jeremy Winston's got so much speed. He can shoot it righty and shoot it lefty. This is something you're just waiting for him to break free.
Winston had it for a moment, sent it up top for Matuszek. Around for Applegate with Noah Richard. Just the blanket who's been on him all night.
Great check.
And strips it from Applegate.
Eric just showed a little too much stick, and Marquette's going to make you pay. These guys are tacticians with the takeaway check.
How about this close defense from Marquette all night, shutting out most of the main options for Jacksonville, and an unforced turnover. So just as Jackson Ellert had it for Marquette, they give the ball right back to Jacksonville in the attacking zone.
With 6:47 to go and 4 goals down, Jacksonville has to be careful. They just can't have these turnovers. They got the ball back after getting stripped a couple of times down. They've had 2 balls intercepted on forced feeds. They need to just clean this up a little bit. You look at the schedule coming up: Michigan, Drexel, Penn State, Towson before you get into Southern Conference play.
Jack Pucci.
Not much of an angle there when he switched it to his left hand, and no backup, which is even worse.
Hey, you mentioned the upcoming schedule for Jacksonville. It seems like Murderer's Row to start the season because you are going to be the underdog for those first 6-7 games, especially those 2 games in Charlotte you mentioned. You're going to play a pair of top 10 teams at Towson and Penn State. What do you think of this challenging schedule, especially given the youth on this team?
The formula has been there for the Dolphins under Coach Galloway. They've been able to brush off slow starts and be playoff ready for the SoCon. You just hope your team's mature enough to be able to bounce back from losses. They've shown it in the past, but this is a new group, so it's tough. It's tough, but it's demanding. You want to play against the best when you choose your college. What a check there by Barnhorst.
Ball pops out of the stick.
Love Barnhorst, one of my favorite players. Always hustling, ground ball. You've seen him take face-offs. Just a dynamic player.
Bowhunter setting up. And again, just a brilliant save made by Holzman.
Way to lay out for Matuszek, diving for that shot. Nice pass by Bowhunter as well. Look at this little no-look.
Seems so nonchalant, too. And Troy Hettinger almost had his first career goal. At least a shot backed up by Jacksonville, and Alec Drosos has it.
Nice pick by Byrne. Or Levangie.
Drosos with space makes it a 3-goal game. Still 5 minutes left. Not over just yet. And Jacksonville trying to do the impossible and come back and make this one a ball game.
So many times, teams, when they have their defensive midfielders caught on offense, They slow it down, pull the defense off. Watch Levangie set this pick. Eats the pick, frees up Drosos, gets the step in, high to high. Great shot. Look at, once again, Halsman's down low and that ball is going up high. Just guessed wrong. Gotta love that pick. But my point was, Coach Galloway's got confidence in his two-way middies. He doesn't call them defensive middies. Dolan will be stuck on defense. Levangie stuck on offense. And he's okay with that.
Hunter Turner couldn't get the ground ball after it appeared he won the face-off.
So right now you want to shut off the adjacent and put pressure on that ball. Timeout. Good call.
After almost forcing a turnover, Marquette burns its final timeout with 4 minutes and 44 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Dolphins have chipped away a couple of times, but Marquette has always come back with an answer. We'll see if the Golden Eagles have one final answer to lock up win number 2 this year when we come back.
Discover card. I just got my cashback match. Is this for real?
Yep. We match all the cashback new card members earn at the end of their first year.
Automatically. Whoa, I got my money.
It's hard to contain yourself, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Well, let it go. Woo.
Get a $1 match at the end of your first year, only from Discover.
Have you ever worked with Dr. Francis?
Oh, yeah. He's okay.
Just okay?
Guess who just got reinstated? Well, not officially. Nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I'll see you in there.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5GE. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Introducing Wendy's $5 Giant Junior Bacon Cheeseburger Meal. For $5, this giant comes with double the beef and bacon, nuggets, fries, and a drink. There's nothing junior about it except the price. For a limited time.
Marquette has done an unbelievable job all night, going not just to Tanner Thompson, not just to John Wagner, but a cast of so many players. Take a look at the numbers, 9 different goal scorers, and even probably what's more impressive is the fact that all those guys that have assists setting up those goals, not just having 2 players do it themselves, is a major reason why Marquette's picked to finish second in the Big East behind Denver.
I've been so impressed with the way Marquette's slinging their passes around. They're not just lobbing passes. They're throwing them with authority, with purpose, and it's making the defense for Jacksonville just have to work.
Almost a bad pass, almost immediately out of the timeout. Tommy Barnhorst almost took it away. Peter Hankhouse, who has 2 goals tonight. Anthony Orsini, 35 on the shot clock. Again, 4 minutes, the deficit at 3 for Jacksonville. All you have to do for right now is play honest. And crashing the goal, a save made by Sells. Ball loose in front. They're going to say a crease violation on Thompson. And Jacksonville still has a heartbeat in these final minutes.
There's Evan Tyler coming out of the substitution area for the one-man clear as he attacks the midfield line.
Dolphins only have a few seconds to get it across, and now here's Tyler sprinting into the open. Need a goal here for the Dolphins' comeback. Now Jeremy Winston onto the field. 14 and 44 really done the damage tonight for the Dolphins.
Really great defense there by Marquette on Evan Tyler.
Still 35 on the shot clock. Jack Dolan gets the pick. Now up to Tyler. Shot goes again, and Evan Tyler, a 5-goal performance. Masterful here against Marquette, and it's a 2-goal game with just 3 to play.
Anyone who's watched Jacksonville University from their inception in 2010 remembers guys like Cam Mann, 4-year superstar from Canada, McLean Chiquin, same thing. And Evan Tyler has credited McLean Chiquin with showing him how to dodge, redodge, shoot righty, shoot lefty, and the transformation in Evan Tyler's game has just been remarkable.
Had 5 goals all of last season. 5 goals tonight, and Jacksonville refuses to go away. But a face-off win for Jared Hirschman. And the junior, who is playing behind Zachary Malillo for his first couple of years on the Marquette roster, had only taken 59 faceoffs in the first 2 years. Comes away with arguably the biggest one of his young junior season.
If you're Coach Galloway and the Dolphins, you're saying thank you so much for having a shot clock right now, because with 2:37 to go, Marquette is not going to be in a hurry, but Jacksonville can be somewhat patient. Don't have to get too aggressive, press out too far, think about double teams at this point. They can just play defense and try to win the ball back.
40 seconds on the shot clock, and do the math, 2:20 to play. Jacksonville, again, going to have to play perfect if it wants to force overtime.
Nice play.
Turnover forced. Dixon Smith has it. Marquette still attacking, and ball shuffled over to Hunter Sells. Dolphins still have a timeout left and have less than 10 seconds to get it upfield.
They've got to get it across into the box before they can even think about a timeout. Inside that 30-yard line.
Jack Dolan. Alec Drosos nearly.
I'd call one here. He's confident. He's got plenty of time. I just want him to see these guys settle down a little bit, because Marquette is aggravating them.
Ball flying all over the place, and just 90 seconds to play. Dro speeding the short stick. Gets resistant, fires off to Winston. Now it's Applegate. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Getting pushed back by Grill. Now just 12 seconds on the shot clock. Dolphins have to hurry. And the ball is dropped on the turf.
6 seconds in the shot clock, and Marquette comes up with a big defensive stand.
What a stand by Marquette and Nick Singleton. Some contact out of bounds.
Timeout Marquette.
Timeout Marquette.
Came, yep. 50 seconds left. That last possession for Jacksonville, I called for the timeout just because Jacksonville seemed unsettled.
And it resulted in a turnover. And just before Singleton was roped out of bounds and got a stick knocked out of his hand by Andrew Young. Again, Marquette, that's that identity it's had for these last couple of years in 2 NCAA tournament appearances. Just right there, case in point, although it's still a 2-goal deficit for Jacksonville, so even with the goal, the odds maybe stacked against them, but it's still plenty of time left in this one. And before we close the book on a wild second half between these two teams, how do you find a way to get 2 quick goals in the last 50 seconds?
Well, you're going to have to come out and double team the ball. You're going to have to be very aggressive, which is probably going to result in having an empty net. You're going to have Hunter Sells come out and cover somebody and double team the ball, which is very dangerous. The odds are not in Jacksonville's favor right now with 50 seconds to go. There's no moral victories in lacrosse. This is something that Jacksonville's seen before. They competed with Ohio State in the Moes last year. You saw them play 6-6 against Duke last week. But that 6-1 deficit that they fell behind in the first quarter has just been hard to handle. You see the greatest goalie in the world talking to the youngster Hunter Sells and saying, this is how you play. You're going to have to go cover somebody, but still keep your eye on the cage. So most likely you're going to see maybe Dixon Smith and Tommy Barnhorst start on the ball. There's Jordan Young and Barnhorst on the ball, and Hunter Sells is going to try to cover the player closest to the goal, and that's going to be Tanner Thompson. And most likely you're going to see John Wagner just take some shots and just try to run out the clock.
78 seconds on the shot clock. Virtually Marquette can't hold on to the ball for the last minute of the game.
Hunter Sells coming out for the double team.
Turnover forced. What a play made by the freshman Andrew Young, but Dolphins have to hurry. Just over 30 seconds to play. Hayden Levangie barreling his way towards the goal. Jack Pucci trying to come up with it, and a timeout called by John Galloway after a near turnover. 22.7 seconds left on the clock to be exact, and at least an opportunity for the Dolphins. Hey, if you're watching the World Championships over the summer, live or DVR'd, you saw the way that those games ended with goals and really with tenths of a second left on the clock. It is still possible. Now, is it probable? No, that's no fun, though. But there is certainly a way where Jacksonville can get 2 quick goals, especially if it can get back to a 1-goal game and a face-off with how much time do you think to at least allow the chance to go downfield and rip a shot?
Going back to the other end of the field when Marquette had the opportunity to run the clock out, that was just picture perfect how you play it to take away. Hunter Sells caught out of the cage, getting in, coming up with a big ground ball, getting it over the midfield line to Levangie. Jacksonville came across, had the ball with 30 seconds left. Now they're there with 22 seconds. Here's the forced turnover. Watch Hunter Sells just hustle throughout. He's got to go back and protect the goal. And Jordan Young, there's the takeaway check. Jordan Young, Hunter Sells cleans it up to Levangie.
So how quick does Jacksonville need to score here?
Well, they need to get a shot off within 10 seconds. They have to have time for the face-off, and you can score 6 seconds off of the face-off. So, I expect to see some type of shot within the next 10 seconds.
Jack Dolan over to Pucci. 15 seconds left. Dolan too high. 10 seconds exactly on the clock. Restart for Bo Bohunter. Lets it fly, but a save made by Holzman, and Marquette is going to chuck it down the field and walk away with a hard-earned road win, holding on for dear life in the final minutes of the fourth quarter, and ultimately a 6-1 deficit at the end of the first quarter. Too tall a task to come back for Jacksonville.